Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this particular video, I'd like to discuss my thoughts on episode 2 of the anime series, Log Horizon. And I have to say, this was just a kick-ass episode from beginning to end. I really love the intuitive nature and the intermingling of this main trio that we're following around, Shiro, Akatsuki, and now Sugu. They are very intuitive with the game mechanics of this MMORPG Elder Tale and how they're, going about fighting monsters and everything like that. But even more impressive is their intuitive nature in interacting, their teamwork. They are very much sort of, with verbal cues or visual cues, working alongside each other as a well-oiled machine. This early on in this particular series, in the game, world that they're all sort of trapped in, it's just really, really impressive to have these kinds of characters who are so well defined and so well able to complement each other in whatever the goal is. They don't really have a goal, and that's largely what the sort of crux of the story of this episode is. What are we supposed to do in this world? And I love from right out of the gate in the pre-credits sequence, we have already broken type with some other well-established and similar series, in concept, people trapped in an MMORPG. We find out almost immediately as this episode begins that when people die, there is no danger, seemingly, of them dying in the real world. And that is one of the big, foremost, sort of establishing story elements to similar series to this one, like SAO and Dot Hack and the like. And I love that they are breaking ground with that concept. The question is then raised, well, if they're not going to die and they're only going to reappear at a local chapel or church or what have you, safe haven, what is the purpose of this? Well, why are they all trapped in this? There's 30,000 some odd people in Japan alone, I think somewhere upwards of 100 to 300,000 worldwide, trapped in the game servers of Elder Tale. And it's really just a mind-boggling question. What is the purpose? Is it trying to give people who spend all their time playing video games, a better appreciation of the world, the real world sort of, like immerse them so much so that they can't leave in a virtual world, so they'll realize there's really kind of nothing but a dead end, a circle to always be, circling the drain, that kind of thing. It just brings up a lot of different questions. And I love the addition of the player-killer side of that story, because it's like, well, why bother? Well, other than getting a few measly items and goodies and money, stashes here and there, what is the purpose? Because really they're lacking any sense of such a thing. They don't know what a goal is. They don't know, are we supposed to beat the game? Are we supposed to just fight monsters? There's nothing for us to really do. And I love the aspect that when they finally encounter a group of player killers, they're just kind of out and testing their own skills and, bettering that organization, that teamwork between this main trio. They find these player killers, and we see just how badass they are. The strategist that Shiro is comes to the fore as far as, with a verbal cue, he has Akatsuki going over into the woods and getting the two mages. He's got these warriors who are going after, of course, now Sugu, because he is sort of the biggest, baddest of this main trio, and they're trying to split them up. They're trying to go after, you have one of the chicks from the PKers group going after Shiro, and he turns the tables very easily using these different spells. And you have, of course, now Sugu being able to be sort of a rock, be like, a weight down for all of these other players. They have to go after him because he doesn't give them a choice. And I love this. I love that they are all using their particular skills and their skill subsets to upset the entire PK group, and they wipe them out. They wipe the floor with them. But they realize, this whole PKing thing is a product of just circling that drain. As I say, what are we supposed to do in this game? If we can't escape it, we can't die, there's no danger of our losing our lives, what is our purpose? It's kind of just dead end, a rigmarole. And finally, they go back to the Crescent Moon Alliance, that great guild that has these somewhat annoying leaders that are very whiny. And we touch base on that, girl who at the end of the last episode was coming under attack in a whole other area of the game. Suddenly, Shiro finds a level of purpose. And I love when he has found this purpose. First they ride off on horses. They're going to go and they're going to find this girl and help her. She's luckily been taken, into another guild in that area of the game with, I guess fellow sort of good players and such like that. At least so far as we know. There could be some tricks up the sleeves of the story by that time once they find her. But it's one of those things where I was starting to get afraid maybe it was going to be like this whole 25 episode series was going to be the journey to this place. But nope, because as soon as they have a little lunch and they have a break and they're talking about what they're going to do next, forget the horses, they pull out the griffin whistles, it just was awesome seeing these two big winged griffins coming down and the just sort of incredulous and miraculous, stunning appearance of Akatsuki in, seeing these creatures. And they're often flying. They're going to their next goal, their next destination. And it's just like, wow, they're really breaking conventions with this series so far, and I can only hope through the entire length of it that this will constantly be the case, that they will always break with traditions in similar series that have been telling similar stories, because that is one of the most fun aspects watching this series so far. Only 2 episodes in, I know it's very much early in the game to be calling it like this, but so far, in any case, for me as a viewer and a fan of this kind of genre, seeing them doing things that are going against type is really a lot of fun. So I loved this episode. I can't wait to see how we pick up with the 3rd episode. And I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of this episode, episode 2 of Log Horizon, if you've seen it. And otherwise, that'll be it for me. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you later. Peace.